Half a day is the word, half a day is the phrase, and half a day is the spirit. It's how we live, it's how we conduct ourselves, it's how we share our culture. And I am being joined right now in the KUM News Zoom room by Julita Atoigwe, who is the president of the 81st Guam Liberation Day Committee out of Snohomish County, Washington, and Ruben Pell, who is the VP and a high school classmate of mine. One of my boys from like way, way back. I consider these guys family. So half a day to you both, and happy Liberation Day. It's never too early to say that, you guys.
Yay, half a day, Jason.
Okay, so let's talk about what is going on there because we love hearing about Liberation Day celebrations and what's going on. So what are you guys planning up there? And actually, first of all, Snohomish County, right? How close is that to downtown Seattle?
I want to say 35 minutes north,
Okay,
40.
so you're closer. Are you closer to Canada than you are to Seattle?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well,
Now,
again, Ruben's one of my guys from like way back. Everybody, he like the last time I was in Washington and visited there, he and I were going to meet up. He was actually going to take me to Nintendo, like way up there. So that would have been a trip.
yep.
Okay, so Julita, what is planned for the 81st celebration of our liberation? I know you guys do it big up there.
Well, this is our first run, so we have planned it at Willis Tucker Park, borderline Snohomish and Mill Creek. We have vendors, we have live entertainment, we have a DJ, we have a potluck style food setup, so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Of course, it's about the food. It's about the camaraderie. It's about celebrating ourselves as Guamanians. You went to JFK, Julita, of course, Ruben and I went to Sanchez. But it's also about sharing our culture, with people who haven't had the privilege of visiting here or living here. So, what do you guys want to tell, people that may just be passing by about, oh, that chicken Kelaguen like tastes really good. What's in that? Or, like what liberation means to us.
Ruben?
You know, um, I don't know. We just want to share the culture with everyone out here. I mean, I don't know if it's something that gets lost after living here for how many years. So basically, we just want to do a reminder of, the liberation of Guam. So I think that's just our goal. Share it with people who live there, people who are interested on,
Mhm.
Guam. So
Okay, Julita, how long have you guys been working on this?
Honestly, we just started working on this last month. So, I actually own a restaurant here in Everett, and just having the restaurant established and speaking to our people coming in, I noticed a sense of longing for community. And so another like longtime customer of mine, he came in and we got to talking. His name is Steven Polson. And I was like, yeah, I've been thinking about doing a liberation event up here for a couple years. I just didn't kind of bump into the right people. And he's like, oh, I've been thinking about that too. And I was like, come on, let's do it this year. So we kind of just went with it. And then I believe Steve reached out to Ruben, which Ruben is also one of our longtime customers at the restaurant. He's been like a diehard day one like supporter of ours. And so we kind of started our first meeting and we did it. And then after the word kind of got out there, it kind of spread like wildfire. And all of these people just started jumping on and outpouring the support in the community now too. So it's definitely a long time coming. Like our people are super mahaling just for, a sense of home, a taste of home. And we just want to bring that.
There you go. Because of course for our way of life out here, whether you're like native Guamanian, like your family came here and everything, everybody's one island family here. And
That's
food is
right.
currency for us, right? I mean, it's what
That's
brings us
right.
together. We enjoy making it together. We enjoy
Yes.
giving it away to people. In your case, Julita, you've made a very successful restaurant of it, but it's also the nature of July 21st and what that means for our history here.
Absolutely.
And we were liberated from Japanese occupation. What do you tell people when they want to say, what is Liberation Day? They're like, is it your Independence Day? Is it your Easter or what?
I honestly just kind of reflect on the resiliency of our people. It was such a big thing when we were liberated by the US from the Japanese. I mean, looking back on documentaries and then hearing stories firsthand from survivors in the past, you see just what an emotional event that was and just how much it meant to our people. And I think as the years gone on and that firsthand experience kind of died down a little bit, people gotta I guess people kind of lost touch with the significance of it. And so we kind of, our committee really, we just want to bring that back. Just remind everybody and just reflect on the importance of the day, Yes, it's about the food and coming together, but let's not forget like the great sacrifice that the US and our people had to go through, and then like I said, the resiliency of our people to continue to thrive after that situation. So
Absolutely. And of course, Ruben, when you and I were in ninth grade, we had to take like Guam history. And at that point, they said, we're only one generation removed, you and I, from the
Yeah,
time when our grandparents had to deal with like the atrocities of war.
yeah, for sure. I mean, especially for the younger generation growing up now, the kids of our generation. It's something that they learn through the books, but they don't truly know deeply. You know what I mean? So it's best to hear it from either our generation or the older generation of what it really is and what it means to all of us. So it's a great learning tool for the younger generation growing up that just know Guam is an island and where my parents grew up. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, what do you guys get asked the most about when you say, you meet people out there and, of course, like Washington's got people from like all over the world that constantly come in and out, like some stay, some go down to Portland, what have you. But when you say you're from Guam and everything, and of course you carry that, you speak it with your chest and you say it with your soul, but then
that's
people
right.
say, "Oh, I've heard about it, but I'm not really like an expert." Tell me about like the island you grew up on. What do you guys say?
Ruby, you want to go first?
you know what? I just tell them. I always say it's a mini Hawaii. It's full of culture, full of islanders that grew up together in like a huge family, almost sharing the same kind of culture and food styles and the friendliness and the openness of accepting others, to visit and enjoy with us. Um, but we didn't wear grass skirts, and you know, so they
No
I
one's
guess
ever
for
asked
the
me to
most
like
part they understood.
to sacrifice myself to the fire god in the volcano, like.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So.
Okay, Julita, what about, the aspect of our culture out here and, the community, which is really like faith oriented and, like, probably the two big things is, especially when I was a kid, is like, Sunday,
Right.
everybody went to church like somewhere, but also at the same time, your parents, your grandparents tell you like our biggest virtue is respect for yourself,
Right.
for your family, and for others.
Right. I honestly tell people that we come from a small island, but us islanders have the biggest heart. Like we are very hospitable people. And we definitely take faith. Like that's one of the biggest things, it's a huge part, like culture and faith on our island, they come hand in hand, right? And so I just explained to them like I said, that we come from an island, a small island with a big heart, and faith and culture go hand in hand. And we are a big island of respect, like respecting our elders, respecting the land, respecting the sea, right? Because we harvest, we get what our sustenance from that. So we're very big on respect in all aspects.
Okay, let me ask the two of you, right? Because of course, so Julita, as someone in food services, how crazy is it to try and get, like really quality ingredients to make authentic like island style food over there? And then Ruben, as a graphic artist and, like as an artist in general, about getting, the aspects of, for design, for to capture culture, like in that regard, like, way out there. How do you guys actually like kind of like, do legitimate, authentic, Guam creations and everything like that when you're on that side of the world?
Well, on my end, with the food aspect, it's definitely hard to acquire ingredients here. I mean, back home, you would use achoti seeds to make red rice, right? And
I was
then
just about to say, Chelsea's not the same out there.
moving out here, well, I went to California first. I was in Long Beach, California for a couple years, and I was catering out there, and then I moved up to Washington. But having even down there, achoti seeds it's if you find them, they're in smaller packs and they're expensive. So you would have to use the powder. And when I first tried to use the powder, I was like, "Oh my God, how do I do this? Like I couldn't break it up. It wouldn't dissolve in water." And so, my brother was like, "Oh, you gotta put it in hot water." And I was like, "Oh yeah, okay." So I'm over here whisking it and I was like, "Okay, okay." So I had to adapt really. And then finding other ingredients, like if I wanted to make mozzizas or anything like that, it's hard to find like um the different, because you use like different leaves for that, right? And so it's hard to acquire some of those ingredients as well. You just really have to do the best with what you have, when you go to the stores or the Asian stores, because that's where I find most of my ingredients.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge to bring authenticity, from home, but we do
Now,
the
Ruben,
best
how
we
about you? Because I mean, you've always captured culture in, like posters that you design. You're wearing some some Guam jewelry right now and everything like that. To be able to, to legitimately capture like who we are and everything like that. How do you do that?
So fortunately, mine is more easier because there's Google.
can.
So easy to just go search, but a lot of it is just from experience of living there. It's just knowing what to look for and just thinking with the heart and the mind of how we grew up on the islands, and then trying to, I want to say, envision of what the other side would want to see to get the same feeling. So, I mean, somewhat so. I guess it would be a little bit tough, but it's still my access to those. It's a little bit more easier than Jolita's. So,
Okay, right on. Okay, so now I'm absolutely sold. Sales pitch worked on 100% of me. I am so in. So what can we do, being out here, to help you guys put on this amazing celebration of Liberation Day? Because we're about 4 months out. These kind of events are not easy. It's a lot of moving parts, a lot of calls to be made, a lot of DMs to
That's
send, and
right.
everything.
A lot
So
of
what
organizing.
can Guamanians that are expats out there near you do to help, and what can we do to help get the word out, or even like contribute, or if we happen to be there in the summertime, how can we pass through?
Well, you can actually follow us on Facebook. It's Guam Liberation dash Snowco, or on Instagram, it's Snowho Guam Lib. That's the first thing you can do if you're a business on Guam or elsewhere, and you want to donate raffle prizes, or if you want to donate finances. You can also reach us via email, which is gu.liberation@gmail.com, I believe. Is that correct, Mr.
yeah,
Rubin?
that's
All
right.
right. Yep. And then if you want to attend, it's happening on July 26th, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Willis Tucker Park in Snohomish.
Yeah, like Jolita said, best way if you're not in state, email us, ju.liberation@gmail.com. Go on our Facebook page, Instagram, message us. We'll reply back to you right away. So, we're excited to do this. So, there's going to be no hesitation on our side to, get the support from the Islanders.
Okay, so I've never been in the great state of Washington or the Pacific Northwest in the summertime. I've only been there like in the dead of winter, but I heard like, that time of year is absolutely gorgeous. So I mean, it's going to be wonderful conditions for a proper Liberation Day celebration.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
definitely.
for sure. Should be hopefully mid to upper 80s.
Okay,
Yep.
no rain at that time, right? It's like those
Dry.
2 weeks in the year when it doesn't rain.
No, yeah, yeah, that's one of the weeks.
Okay,
But
and then
yeah, for
then if
sure, summer is great.
Okay, and then because this is something that is absolutely going to happen, and because like island culture is, you don't show up at the party. You have to spend the previous night or the previous week preparing something, and you bring it there. If there are Guamanians who are going to be traveling through that party, they're on summer break, and they want to make like a food item to help out. Julita, you talked about like donations, but like if people want to cook and contribute, you're the expert at this. So what do you need? Ingredients or dishes or
So it's a potluck style. So if they can bring something already prepared, that would be great. But if they want to donate ingredients or like meat items that we could barbecue, they're more than welcome to do that. And
I'm signing up
it,
for lemon meringue pie. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say paper products.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yes. But yeah, if you could just email us at the given email address, we could definitely plug you in. We have a food chair, so she's very organized. Her name is Ms. Denise Ueda. She is doing an amazing job organizing that part of the event. So once that email comes through, it will be directed to the appropriate person, and they will be reaching out to let the people know what they need or
All right, we
whatever.
got you guys, man. But
Yeah.
thank you for all that you're doing, and Biba Liberation. We can't wait to see. And we'll keep in contact with you guys and see how the planning's coming, see what the sponsorship is, and like we'll continue to support you guys because you guys are doing an amazing thing out there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having us.
All right.
Thanks. Thanks, Jace.